Welcome in. This is 300 Yards to Unknown. I'm Rick Gehman. That right there is Eric Patterson. Pat, what's going on, dude?
Not too much, Rick. Looking forward to RSM Classic week. The usually a sleepy week in the calendar, but a decent field for us to look forward to after a fun Masters, I would say.
Yeah, you just enlightened me that Mayakoba is not next week. It is the following week. It is not American Thanksgiving week.
A week off. We got the match 3 with Charles Barkley and Steph Curry and Peyton Manning to fill the void there. So yeah, not perfect. Not overly thrilled with that, are you?
I think we've jumped the shark on the match at this point.
Yeah, we went over that before, but it just
when you only have one pro and Charles Barkley, I'm concerned. I'll still watch it. I'm sure I'll still enjoy it, but
I was thinking about it. Like I think Manning and Steph Curry are gonna crush.
I think so too, because it's Phil Charles versus Manning and Steph, right?
Yeah, and they're playing modified alternate shots, so Chuck's shots are gonna count more than they probably should. So
yeah, he's gonna have every approach shot because they're gonna have to use Phil's drive no matter where it goes. So imagine using Charles Barkley's every single approach. It's gonna be terrible.
Or imagine Charles gets one right down the middle, and then Phil like shanks his second shot. It just
oh, so good. Anyway,
we got way more to talk about than the match 3.
Masters. Let's recap this. We waited 19 months between Masters. We had a couple of delays to start it, but they got back on track, and Dustin Johnson did DJ things, gets to 20 under par, adds a second major championship to his resume. What were your initial reactions to everything we saw last week?
Initial reactions to everything. It's so peak DJ. That's what we've seen for the last few years. Is this guy can just run away with tournaments and make them like no one's better at making an exciting golf tournament boring than DJ. The guy he can put it into a different gear than anyone else, and it's over when you want it to be tight, but you just know it's not the way it's going to go.
Yeah, well, no one has runaway freight train mode like DJ does, where he just gets rolling and nothing's going to stop him.
We haven't seen that from McIlroy in years. I can't remember the last time Rory ran away with the tournament.
Congressional, so right? DJ. That would have been
that's 2014, or it's a long time ago at this point. And DJ does it seemingly every event. And I think I said something along the lines of his last 7 PGA Tour wins, he's won by an average of 5 shots.
Oh, is that true? I did not know that.
Over half of his tour wins, he's won by more than 3 shots. So it's this guy just, when he wins, it's typically not the closest match. He rarely just comes up by one or a playoff or whatever.
That 8-shot victory by Rory McIlroy at the U.S. Open at Congressional was 2011. That was 9 years ago.
He might have won one of those other majors. Maybe Kiowa was a runaway. I honestly don't remember a lot of McIlroy's major wins. That was a time in my life when I was focused on school and wasn't paying attention to what Rory was up to.
So here we go. Yeah, Kiowa, 8 shots in August of 2012. That was the PGA Championship. He's won other events. So he won the Wells Fargo in 2015 by 7, and he won the RBC Canadian in 2019 by 7. Those are his biggest margins of victory. Let me see if I can find Dustin's.
DJ just does it, I feel like, more frequently and in probably bigger spots and more recent, definitely.
And more recently. Yeah. Okay. So 5 shots at the Masters, 3 at the Tour Championship, but I guess that's probably with the starting strokes.
Yeah, I guess.
11 at the Northern Trust, 5 in Mexico, 6 at the FedEx St. Jude, 8 at the Century Tournament of Champions, 5 at the Genesis Open. I mean, yeah, that's all in the last 3 years.
Yeah, he's just turned that, found that extra gear in since 2017. So it would have been weird if DJ finished his career with only 1 major. So it was expected. One of the more expected major victories we've had in a while.
Long overdue, right? Yeah. His, going on 4 years, 2016 US Open, many close calls since then. I know that DJ does not need validation on his career when you're going into that week, a 23-time winner on the PGA Tour, but how many guys have won 1 major and how many guys have done it kind of flukingly, right? The real fluky fashion.
It's a different tier. Yeah.
It's a much different tier to get a second one. And then of course we see the side of DJ that we've never seen before, right? Like the guy the most composed golfer on the face of the earth can't get a sentence out on the green post round with Amanda Balionis.
He usually doesn't have a lot to say, like, but those are more stemming from questions that are like, he's just not going to entertain the dumb questions.
Right,
but this one was legit. Like, he just couldn't speak because he was just overcome with emotion, which was I get very, very rare. And I didn't realize, I guess, how much, everyone always talks about like, oh, when I was a kid, I always dreamt of making a putt to win the Masters. Like, that's what it's like, very cliche. You do that with like hockey, scoring the winning goal to win the Stanley Cup, like hitting a home run to win the World Series,
bottom of the ninth. Yeah,
that's just cliche. But apparently, I saw like his college roommate came out and said like he did this in the hotel like all the time, just like this putt's to win the Masters. I didn't realize how much that event meant to DJ. Like, you don't really see him as a person who puts like tournaments on pedestals. He just wins tournaments and just goes, yeah, is what it is. I'm good at golf.
Yeah, no one confuses Dustin Johnson with like a golf historian, right? And like kind of like thinking about his place in history and how different tournaments can alter history and things like that. But clearly he might just not express that because this is I was stunned to see him like, and Amanda Balionis like let it breathe for a lot longer than I would have let it breathe for, right? I would have jumped in and probably helped him at some point, but like it worked and it was great because she
tried to, and then she brought like his family into it, and like he just kept it was like almost like opening the faucets a bit more. It was good to see emotion from him. We don't see it, but his brother was crying as asked after he tapped in. I love how the best part is he taps in before Sungjae finished.
I know,
so
of course,
just like dumbs down the moment. It's just, I feel like Koepka might have done that recently too, but it just, he didn't even give himself that opportunity to like tap in for the last putt and kind of celebrate. He had to do it in front of Sungjae, which was hilarious.
he didn't get to soak it all in, right? Let these guys finish all that stuff. I love when Amanda Balionis sends it back. She goes, "Okay, back to you, Jim." And DJ goes, "Oh, thank you." Like I can't do this anymore. Like we got this interview has to be over because we're not getting anywhere with this. So okay, other storylines. You mentioned Sungjae Im. So Sungjae and Cam Smith finished runner up. I don't want to say that. I mean, this score could have won a lot of Masters, unless you run into the buzzsaw that is Dustin Johnson. I think that these two guys, you have the President's Cup angle, Sungjae, who is only 22 and should be considered with all the best young players on tour. Cam Smith, a little bit older, hasn't had as much success on the PGA Tour, but like I love both of these guys.
I know, yeah, and I think Cam Smith was my sleeper of last week, not to pump my own tires, but it was almost expected that we saw him. He's done well here before, and he just has that kind of crafty game that tends to play well at Augusta. Sungjae, I mean, I'm not going to boast about it too much, but I saw his odds last week. He's like 125. I'm like, man, this guy he's way better than that type of golfer, and he showed it. And I do think he's a pretty creative guy too. He showed off his short game on the last round, kind of getting up and down from places you never thought he might be able to, but definitely.
Here's a good question. What's the best part of his game?
I think the best part of his game is that he has no like glaring weakness.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's one of these things where, I think we think about these guys kind of awkwardly sometimes where like, oh, he has a flaw in his game, or, he hit some shots around the greens at Augusta National that like he can't pull off on a weekly basis. But like, I'm not sure that's true. He really doesn't have holes in his game. He is very solid in every single aspect.
I would say he doesn't put it all, like if his driver's going and the short game's going, I think his irons let him down at the Masters, and then sometimes he'll be let down by his putter. It's just like, it's not always all four aspects of the game firing at one time. So maybe that's just a little bit inconsistent, but he's not like, oh, this guy's just a notoriously poor putter. He's good at everything. And when he puts it all together, he contends. So yeah. Sungjae just like the runners up we've had recently in past majors, like Wolf and I guess Morikawa winning, but like he just threw his name back in that hat in that conversation, I would say.
Tiger Woods. Let's talk about the big cat. I don't know what to really say anymore. I think what we saw over his final 3 rounds were very much reminiscent of what we've seen this entire 2020 calendar year, which is he's going to make some birdies. He's going to make some bogeys. He's going to struggle at times. The 10 on 12 was crazy. We can talk about that. The five birdies coming in after that was crazy. We can talk about that. But like, I don't know what is there to expect from Tiger Woods in 2021?
Man, they're like, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know how you would even summarize what he just did, because the highs were so high, the lows were so low, and like the result was kind of what we expected. But at the same time, he opened my eyes, at least, that he can still play well at Augusta. So it's like it jumbled up my thoughts even further of what I kind of see for Tiger moving forward at the Masters. I think he proved in a certain range of holes that he can still play well there. But at the same time, I think everything still needs to line up perfectly for him. And I think that weather delay, coming back, having his round 2 split up into, jamming, what was it, a round and a half into full Friday, or Saturday, yeah, just a lot. So it's just like it didn't go perfectly for him, and it needs to.
I think that we really have to separate what his future is at Augusta National and what his future is on the PGA Tour, because I think they're kind of different. And that was really cemented for me. I think it was either Friday or Saturday, where I swear he was not playing well in his second round, playing all that well, and he was still figuring out a way to get the ball in the cup. He was thinking through the par fives. He was smarter than everybody else out there. I thought he gained a stroke or two just because he was putting himself in the right position, even if the swing wasn't cooperating as much, because it was different on Thursday. Thursday, he was pin high on everything. He had the distance control. He looked good. He didn't look like that in his second round, but I thought he was still able to think himself around there. So I think when you look at Augusta National, yeah, he's going to be fine. And if everything lines up, maybe he contends. But I'm just more concerned about him outside of that bubble, and we just get more in 2021 of what we got in 2020.
Yeah, I think there's going to be his spots. I think the Masters is a spot where Tiger has a chance. And I think the Open Championship is the other spot where Tiger will have a chance. And that's pretty much it. I don't think he's going balls to the walls to try and win another Genesis or a Players or whatever it might be. Those are the 2 tournaments he wants to win. And the Masters is probably above it. For a 44-year-old Tiger to be doing something for the first time ever, he tied his lowest opening round at the Masters ever. Like, sure, it was soft, but I think a soft course probably hurts Tiger at the Masters more than most people, because of just, you can't be, the errors are just not as magnified as they might be when it's firm and fast. So I don't know. I was impressed, but then I was also not surprised to see him struggle. The 10 was crazy, and then he just battles back. I was like, where was this 5 birdies and 6 holes all week? I don't know. He found a weird gear that is just a testament to like that grinding mentality. Everyone calls him the ultimate grinder, and he kind of proved why.
Only Tiger can do something he's never done before on 12, make a 10, worst score he's ever had anywhere, and then back it up with something else he's never done before, birdie 5 of his last 6 coming in at Augusta National. Like, it's the guy's nuts. He's a nut job. It's crazy.
But I saw someone there was a prop out there. Is, will Tiger make a 10 or greater on any hole? Did you see the odds?
Okay, so first of all, I think they were like 150 to 1.
Which is absurdly low.
It should be like 15,000 to 1. Like
based on his career, it should be like 23,000 to 1 or something.
Right. So first of all, I thought that was fake. I thought that was photoshopped, because I couldn't believe it. And then I also couldn't believe the odds were as bad as they were. And then I also couldn't believe that someone had bet it, right? Like $2 on it or whatever. It was just like,
maybe it was fake. I don't know, but I bought it.
It might have been real. I don't know, but it was like it was mind-boggling all around. Why? Yeah, 151. Are you joking me? Like,
make it 10 or greater.
I'm probably not even that. Man, yeah, that was bad. There were so many.
It was a good 10 though. Like the first shot was tough. Second shot, he landed like 5 feet. The second shot is I guess his third shot landed like 5 feet short of the cup and just like absolutely ripped back into the water. And then the bunker was just. Yeah, he's dead. I was like, oh, this is going in the drink too. And then he dropped from the same spot and kind of just punched it. But yeah, it was about as good of a 10 as he could have made in my eyes.
Real solid 10. Did you have Masters related things that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted to go just like a quick fake award type things.
Yeah,
But I was just gonna go. What was your favorite moment?
Oh, favorite moment. Oh man. I will say it was okay, so I got a lot of feels. I guess it had to have been on maybe Friday or Saturday. I don't know, because the days were all screwed up because the rounds were all screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
When Rory birdied 12, when Rory was making his charge and birdied 12 by holing out of the bunker, I was like, yo, Roars is in this thing, and it's about to get
3, yeah, I think.
It's about to get really real. And I remember being like, this is shaping up to be like a really good one because DJ hadn't like run away with it yet or whatever. And then he 3-putt bogeys 13 on his very next hole, and that kind of, but like that's that moment I remember being like,
you perked up a bit.
Yeah, like we're in the weekend and like it's happening. It's all happening right now.
All right, I was gonna go with my favorite moment was just seeing DJ cry, because I think that's gonna be like my lasting image. And it wasn't even on the broadcast for me here in Canada. They actually cut away, and then I saw the video, but I was just like, all right, this means a lot. That was kind of how it, like, you get so involved in the tournament, for me at least. I wanted to see excitement. I wanted to see drama. I wanted to see, a playoff or whatever. Yeah. Like the shots actually mattering on the last few holes, and then it didn't. But then to see how much it meant to DJ, you almost like kind of take a step back, and you're like, man, that was pretty cool.
The biggest sweat was the cut sweat. I mean, were you up early for this?
Oh yeah, that was when Mike Weir was like getting primetime coverage, and Faldo was like tracking his shots. It was great.
I was okay. So Bryson was actually my best like single entry lineup, but I was actually kind of rooting for him to miss the cut. So long story short, I went on the Golf Digest pod last week, and they have a segment at the end called Spicy Nugs, which you give your spiciest takes. So my two were a debutante is going to win and Bryson's going to miss the cut.
Wow, you're well, not one shot, but like pretty much as good as you can do without getting either of them right.
Right. So now this is the Spicy Nugs segment. This is like, all right, listen, like if there's a pathway to missing the cut for Bryson, it's bigger for Bryson than it is for probably some of these other big names, blah, blah, blah. Like it wasn't like that big of a deal. So they take that one quote in the Spicy Nugs segment, run it on Instagram as like the take of the week, and I'm getting flamed on
Were
Instagram.
You?
Oh my god, so bad. So then as I'm watching this and Bryson, I don't know, he makes bogey and he brings the cut line with him.
Yeah.
Down to even, and I'm like, oh my god, is this gonna happen? And then
he played 8. I think it was 18 was his final hole, or 9, maybe 9. Obviously one of them.
Definitely one of them.
Definitely 18 or 9. But he flew his approach shot over the green. I was like, this is getting real interesting. And then the chip went down the hill. I think it was 9.
Yeah. And then so now I'm hard sweating. So it was Weir, Spieth, Rafa Cabrera, Bayo, and then maybe someone else out there. And I think we needed 2 guys. So Weir got his birdie to get to 1 under, I think. And then Spieth had like a 6-footer downhill that did not come within 2 feet of the cup.
Oh yeah. Spieth had so many chances before. I think he missed a shorty on 16 for birdie, and then he parred 15 too. So he could have been there as well. Rafa was A1 in the middle of the fairway on 9 and just like flared it right. Just brutal. But so Mike Weirzy was, because we were weird tracking for a bit. He had, I think number 6 is a 180-yard hole. He like shanked it 140 into the trees, somehow made par from the pine straw on a par 3. And then number 7, it's like 460. He hit it like 230 off the tee. So he had a longer approach shot in, put it in the front bunker, still somehow made par. So he was grinding. But yeah, that was a fun little stretch there when the cut line got very interesting.
So I was like low key, like just miss the cut, Bryce. So like just don't do this thing where you make the cut and then backdoor like a top 15, which he looked like he was going to do on Saturday.
I would consider that you were right. Bryson struggled. It was a fine call to see Bryson struggling.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, which
like when it goes wrong for him, it goes wrong, and it went wrong for him so early. It felt like on number 11 or even number 10, his first hole of the day, he missed like a 6-footer for birdie. I was like, okay, you might be fuming a little bit, and then he was deep into the forest. People were calling him Bigfoot on number 11, like poking his head through the trees. The guy never disappoints.
Is he going to change his strategy in April, or is he just going to run it right back and try to hit? I mean, because the driver was bad, right? If he hits it,
I think
hits it well.
His strategy is fine. I don't think everyone's getting on him about like, oh, and the fact that Bernard Longer beat him is like set us back somehow in like the distance debate, which is just so absurd. I think because the numbers I saw, at least Bernard, he gained like over 9 strokes putting, which is
that's what he has to
astronomical. Yeah, that's what you have to do. And I could also argue that Bernard Longer is maybe even has the ability to contend because of the equipment. Like if you rolled it back a bit or made a smaller driver head or whatever, he would have no chance. But yeah, Bryson, man, oh man, I was at one point I was like, because he played Thursday, and then the round 2 went into Saturday. At one point I was almost missing him. Like I was like, man, I want to see some more Bryson action. It's been a while.
It was must see television every single hole. He was going to do something crazy.
All right, another one for me.
Yeah, what else?
What was your favorite shot?
Ooh, Rom in the practice round.
Oh,
I was skipping
I
it over.
going somewhere else.
No, hold on. Let me think. Oh man. I mean, because we just got done thinking about Bryson, he almost made a 2 on 13 on, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
Sunday or whatever. That was pretty cool. There were no aces this year, were there?
I don't think so. No, they had a few funnel pins, but not this. Everyone was fired up about the no funnel pin on 16 on Sunday. So yeah, that's the big ace hole.
Hold on, there's got to be one I'm not thinking of here.
Just your favorite. Could have been any. It could have been. I have mine. I know.
Yeah. What's yours?
I think Rom's snap hook on 8, round 3. Rom's becoming the king of shanks. He is.
Yeah.
He did it. He had a shank on 8 last year. Mm-hmm. He had a shank at Sherwood at the Zozo. He put it like behind a scoreboard. Like this guy, for as top 5 player in the world to have this many bad shots on his resume is, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, well, he and then he hit the tree with his next shot.
Oh yeah, right? That looked like anyone else in the world could have played that hole the way he did. That was.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's just so relatable to see a snap hook, like a worm burner ripping into the woods on the left. I just thought that was my favorite shot of the week.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll go with Bryson almost holing out for Albatross. I think that would have brought the distance conversation back into the mix. Twitter would have
because he hit wedge into that hole.
Yeah.
What do you think the best shot of the week was?
Oh man, I kind of went with best shot. So DJ, okay, so I rewatched DJ's weekend rounds a couple of days ago, and like
I could not. I think
I couldn't. Well, okay, so I think I know which two you're talking about, but I couldn't even like decide what his best shots were because they were all like so good.
So locked
he was
in.
so locked in. Like every drive, every approach, everything. What are the 2 that you think are the ones that stand out?
So Saturday, his second shot that no one really saw into number 2 that separated him from the. I'm pretty sure from the replay. I tried to zoom in. Like did you see the video they posted out and the cameraman was dropping F-bombs saying like, fuck, he already hit. Screw it.
Yeah, because he's such a fan. So he was actually on. So it was actually that shot was very similar to the shot he hit on Friday, which is on Friday he was on the right fairway and hit it to like a couple of feet or whatever, and then on what was it Saturday
back left pin,
and he was I think on the left side and he just swoops it in there to I don't know tap in range. Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm almost certain it lipped out for Albatross, but that was when it was. Everyone was at 9 under. There was like 5, maybe no, there was more than that. There might have been like 8 guys tied for first, and then he just like, all right, see you later, guys, and just kind of separated himself.
On that same hole, while I'm thinking about it, Tiger had a flop shot on Sunday. He was like over the green, long left on 2, and he had a flop shot that lipped out for eagle. And I was thinking, oh man, like, are we gonna get like this version of Tiger on Sunday? And he's gonna just like eagle number 2. He's gonna go on a run like that. That stands out for me.
And then my other DJ shot was after the back-to-back bogeys in the final round. He bogeyed 4-5. Mm-hmm. He stepped up to the tee in 6, and I was just like, this is gonna go either 5 feet or it's gonna be another bogey. And he just absolutely flagged it. I was like, oh. Yeah. That's when he left the door open a little bit and then he jammed it in there and just shut the door closed pretty quickly.
When he chunks his chip on number 2 into the bunker, I'm like, oh no.
he admitted he was nervous. Like he said he felt it all day, and he doesn't show it, but maybe he feels it in his hands. But yeah, he made it interesting for about 5 holes, I guess you could say. And then it was over. But yeah.
Yeah, then he ran away.
What a week. What a week.
What a week. We are in the time of year, Eric, where the NBA's got, free agency and trades and Woj bombs and all that stuff. And this is like the 3 or 4 times a year that I really wish we had team golf. Like, I wish you dropped an EPAT bomb that Rory McIlroy was going to be traded from Team TaylorMade to the Mercedes-Benz team. And it was, lighting Twitter on fire. Like, that's what I want to be happening right now.
A little off season with some drama. Yeah, Brooks Koepka wants out of his deal with Team Nike, and he just got offered $50 million, but still wants to get traded. Yeah,
and he's trying to direct what team he wants to go to. It'd be awesome. We don't get any of this. It
would be different for sure. It would be. We get little stupid Twitter spats and beefs and people reacting. That's the only drama we get is like what's the term I'm looking for? A little frig. Drawing a blank. Passive aggressiveness. Yeah, there it is. It took me a while to get the brain going. Yeah, no, that's what golf is. I don't think we'll ever have it. The PGL was the only opportunity, and it got absolutely died. It's dead, I think.
I love it though. Okay, so imagine maybe we just need, so they can continue to play like they do, but yeah, like Team TaylorMade, team whatever. You would think there'd be a sponsor who'd come in and be like, yeah, we'll give, just in the same way that there's Wyndham rewards or whatever. Like, here's the team aspect of it, and we just count your FedEx Cup points, or we count your whatever for the 4 or 5 guys that are on each team. I would literally die for this.
I just don't know if golf's that spot where like these guys want to be on a team. That's probably why they're good at golf.
But it's like NASCAR. They're not really on a team, right? I mean, they're on teams. They are.
Do people pay attention to NASCAR teams?
I don't know
if they do. Yeah,
what about, I don't think Formula One.
Yeah, that's weird though, because then you got like, I don't know enough about Formula One, but it's like they're just jockeying for position with their teammate, and they're like, all right, now you got to let him pass so that he can go on and win the champion. Like, it's odd. It's weird.
I get it, but I mean, like, they are in theory on teams, right? Like, there is a TaylorMade quote unquote team, right? Like, there is a PXG team. Let's
definitely on the lower end of the spectrum of teams there.
Team Bridgestone, Bryson, Tiger,
Cooch,
Snedeker.
Oh, is he still heavy hitters?
Like, come on, like, let's keep the standings. Like, I don't know. I just wish there was. We miss out, but in the same way, and I understand this, because there is no union and because of all that stuff, it's why we got golf back. And we get golf continuing to go on as guys test positive for COVID-19. Like, I get all the perks of the individuality of this sport, but I selfishly also want the team aspect.
Maybe one day down the road. I don't see it happening, or how it. I don't know. The PGA Tour would have to get completely wiped out for that to happen, because of it seems very far-fetched at this point.
Oh boy.
Hate to break it to you.
I know. It's sad. All right, what else? We can do RSM quick, but because this is going to drop Thursday. Well, I might be able to get it out Wednesday night. So, anything else before we do RSM picks?
Man, I'm trying to think of what just happened. It's weird how usually the Masters kicks off a season. Like, that's like the opening gate, and then you've had the Florida swing, and then you can look forward to the next 3 majors. And now it's just so final, and it's so weird to be. I never want to see it back in November is all I'm really trying to say, because it's such as a final ending to the 2020 calendar. Like, these last 2 tournaments are just, they are what they are. There's nothing to them.
Right. So a lot of people, so there's like 3 different starting points for people, depending on how interested you are in the world of golf. The season either starts in October, when the season actually starts.
Yeah.
Or people think it starts at the Tournament of Champions, because that's like, okay, January Tournament of Champions kick off the season. Or some people think it starts like with the first major, which is the Masters. So it's like one of the starting points. Now it's like
I'd argue the more northern you live, the more like Augusta probably kicks it off, because back up here in Canada, it's like Augusta, the courses are just starting to open. Like that's when golf season starts, and the stuff before it's just not quite the same. But obviously that, my opinion on that's changed. It starts at the what was it this year? I don't even remember what the first event was.
Safeway.
Yeah. We've already had 2 majors this season.
It's crazy.
We got 4 more.
We're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're like 10 events in, something like that, and already have 2 majors under our belts. Do you know anything about how ratings work? Right?
I don't. I only understand like average viewership.
But does that count people who stream or not?
Probably not.
Does that count people who watch on Masters.com? Because this was
the
least
it's just CBS
Masters like ever, right? Something like that.
That's understandable, though. I think I wrote this art, like I wrote the news story up yesterday. And it makes a lot of sense when they were diving into the actual numbers. Like World Series had the lowest all time. NBA Finals had the lowest all time. The U.S. Open set a record for like the least watched U.S. Open. It's just like going up against football. It's impossible.
Okay, so is it football, or is it just like people aren't watching?
I think everyone's kind of out of sorts in terms of their schedule, what's on, what's not, what season's ending, when it's not natural. Yeah. Like, and I think football obviously has a massive part to do with it. But for me, I didn't watch the NBA Finals or even the Stanley Cup because it was in like August. I was like, this is when it's supposed to be ending. I don't know. The season was all sports seasons were just completely jumbled up. It never really felt like the natural flow of a season was never there. I don't know. But yeah, the ratings were, what is it, the lowest rating since 1957 and lowest viewership on record, which I think they started viewership records in 1995. So, but even Tigers last year wasn't as much as I think Patrick Reed's from the year before.
Oh God.
Because of even though broadcast window changes how many people watch.
Oh,
because of the mornings, they're both in the morning for the last 2 years, so it's hard to get a gauge of like the highest rated Masters in the last 3 years was Patrick Reed winning. It makes no sense, but that's when people are Sunday afternoon they're watching, they're not watching Sunday morning.
So really, ratings don't like. Who cares, right? Like what
I don't think it matters.
The networks only use this to see how much they're going to pay for the rights, right?
And I just don't think, and I don't think these last 2 years the data is even that like doesn't matter. It's kind of like throwaway. They're such anomaly years.
Selfishly, I wish the ratings were, well, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I wish they were bad, because the more that networks pay for rights, the more commercials you get, the more playing through you get.
What did you think of? I guess we're on the topic of conversation. What did you think of like the Masters, my group, and all that jazz?
It's phenomenal. I mean, the Masters, it's phenomenal. That app might be the best sports app that there is. The ability to watch every shot within, I don't know, a couple minutes of it happening, the ability to pick what feeds you want, then also be able to watch multiple feeds at once. I learned about a new iOS. I didn't know this iOS feature existed until the Masters.
When you pull your screen down and it sticks in the top right corner.
Yeah. I guess you can do that for Netflix or other apps, but I did not know that until this past week. I mean, it's phenomenal stuff. The argument I always hear is, why can't they do this every single week? Well, yes, that would be awesome. I think we're probably headed that way, right? They try to do this at the Players Championship and show you every shot, but remember, Augusta National has one time a year they have to do this at one course that they control everything. And also they have all the money in the world and don't care about if they were losing money, right? Like let's talk about CBS. CBS pays a ton for the broadcast rights. They have to make money on it, right? Like that's why they show so many commercials. It's why, doing something like this would be incredibly expensive every single week of the year. Like I wish that wasn't the answer, but it is.
Yeah, the Masters app. I don't know how they did all that like commercial free too. There's no like pop-up ads or anything. Only thing was like IBM in the bottom right corner, and like props to them. I'll promote IBM all they want. That was a phenomenal job.
They don't want your money. They don't. I mean, it's why a pimento sandwich is $1.50. It's why a beer is $4 or whatever.
My only complaint was in my group. Here in Canada, we don't have like the feeds that you have. We have that through like our actual television provider, but
okay.
The my group, the shots were coming in out of order. Like they were showing Cam
Oh.
Smith hit a tee shot, and then they'd go back to his shot on number 5 when he was tapping in. I'm like, that was the only qualm. If I'm gonna watch like rapid fire shots, they better be in order.
Yeah. That's a good point. I did notice that once or twice. Yeah, they might have to get their timestamps figured out or whatever.
It's not the end of the world, but I can't wait for they'll hopefully they have enough time in between now and April to make minor improvements and come back with something even better, because that was like Thursday, Friday was so good. Like I was watching guys all over the course that you never see shots of.
I don't know if they're still like, are those going to last forever? Like obviously this leaderboard's going to go away and stuff like that on masters.com. Like are they going to archive all these, or should I just go and try to snap up all the videos now?
What do you need all the videos for? All the tap-in bogeys?
I don't know, but I might want them for something.
No, there's maybe some historical value in them, but I think the leaderboard stays up there for quite a while. Like, right, you can go to masters.com a few weeks ago and you can see Tiger's name at the top, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But now it's it was can't believe our next major is the Masters though.
It's gonna
be so weird.
RSM, we can roll through these pretty quickly. 2 courses this week. Seaside Plantation. If you are getting your first round leader stuff in, if you are playing Showdown, you probably want to know what courses your guys are playing, because Plantation historically has played like a half shot easier, and it's a par 72, both of them about 7,000 yards, I think.
I was surprised there was a couple books maybe splitting the first round leaders and another book where it wasn't. So you gotta do your little due diligence and see what course they're playing first round. But yeah, good field. I'm impressed with the field. We got some names. A lot of Euros, a lot of Englishmen sticking around. They must have a little party boat cruising around over there. Just like Rose, Fleetwood, Hatton, Fitzpatrick. It's not a bad little turnout.
Yeah, basically, I think it's the best field we've ever had at this event, which makes a lot of sense. Sleeper. So last week, let's recap. Your sleeper last week, Cam Smith. Ooh, mama. Good job. DJ was your top 10 lock. Most certainly lock that into
Definitely
the top
lock
10.
that in.
And your pick to win, Brooks Koepka. So all in all, very good week.
Not bad. And I definitely would have wanted JT as my pick to win, but I think you went first. So
I did. So I had Kokrak as my sleeper. Womp womp womp. Missed the cut.
Kokrak was in my only my best lineup with like Cam Smith, JT. Didn't have DJ, but like I was tracking Kokrak. That was a tough watch.
Yeah, because he gave it all away on in his second round.
3 under with like 4 holes in round 1, and then he finished 1 under. I don't need to relive Kokrak's week.
My top 10 lock was Rory, so that is also correct. And
the backdoor top 10 lock. Guy never sniffed it, and then
he is
unbelievable.
He's both amazing and frustrating, right? Because he played himself out of it on Thursday and was phenomenal the rest of the week.
He probably would have made the same run at like Royal Port Rush if he had not really like completely blown it in round 1. But he does it too frequently. It's crazy.
If there was another round, he might have.
Question before go finish. I'll ask you.
And then my pick to win was JT, who finished solo 4th, I think. So we did pretty good. Kokrak missed the cut. That was the only bad one for us.
Pretty good low selection there. It's a question that I've heard on other pods, but who do you think gets the career Grand Slam first, DJ or Rory?
Probably. Still has to be Rory, right?
I guess.
I think it has to be
DJ or Spieth.
DJ.
Spieth needs the PGA.
Spieth needs the PGA. Rory needs the Masters, and DJ needs the PGA and the Open Championship. That's a tough task. The Open Championship and then the PGA Championship. That's tough. Rory just needs one at a place he's had so many close calls at. This
is the one, man. This is I don't know. No fans, different month, just like a different vibe. He's gonna go back next year with fans, more pressure, like a natural build up. It's just gonna be.
You think there's gonna be fans in April?
I think they'll have a limited number. Yeah. We got vaccines coming, buddy. We got just look at these 95% effective vaccines everywhere.
Have you seen the numbers in the United States? I know you're living in a different country. Have you seen the numbers?
I don't know. I truthfully don't pay too much attention to the numbers anymore. Now that the wedding's passed, I'm just everything's in cruise control. I don't care about numbers anymore.
The numbers, the COVID cases look like DJ's like results. It's just everything up and to the right, right? You look at the chart up and to the right. All
hey, we had 3 WDs from the RSM.
Yeah,
that's like
Hickok,
the most since
Norlander, Bill Haas, and then Sam Burns withdrew, but that was not a positive COVID test, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what that was for, but I think 3 in a week is probably the most since like that Travelers Week when everyone was kind of getting hit. But yeah, I guess
they might have to remember they expanded the bubble at one point.
Well, the season they're going to get through this week, get to Mexico, do it one more time, and then shut her down until Tournament of Champions.
That's true. All right, sleeper, EPAT. Who do you like this week?
I think my whole list is going to be sleepers. This week is just juicy with guys. James Hahn.
Oh, okay. Having a good season.
3 top 10s in the last 4 starts. Out early tomorrow morning if you want a first round leader look.
Also, don't freak out if your guy's in like 45th because he shot 3 under at the Seaside course on Thursday.
Yeah, there's 61s out there at the Plantation.
Yeah, let it breathe. Check your lineups after 2 days.
I think you made this point for Showdown is get the data from Seaside day 1 and then attack Plantation for round 2.
I think that's the way to do it. Yeah. I'm going to go with, I feel like I use this guy every week as a sleeper. I've only used him once. No, I won't do that. I'm going to pick a new name. Peter Malnati.
Oh, gross.
Who missed the cut in, I think, Safeway, which was his first event of the season. Has a couple of top 10s since. I'm on Peter Malnati. Let's do it. 125 to 1. He's going to be my sleeper. Top 10 lock. So this is just a yes or a no.
There's such an obvious one here.
I mean, Webb, right?
Webb. It has to be Webb. But I'm going to go with who else is at the top? I'll go Harris English. I don't think he's ever had a top 10 at the RSM, but he's just playing so well.
Yeah, he's been really good. I'll take okay, so hold on. I got to think about this because I had JT last week. You had Brooks. So I'm going to get to go first in the one and done. I'm going to take Henley for my top 10, which means I'm going to take Webb for my one and done.
I'll take Henley for
smart
one and done. It's yeah.
It's not going to be this
easy. It all feels too easy. Everything this week feels a little too easy. There's like a crop of guys that everyone likes, Henley being one of them, Harris English, Webb. Then there's like the long shot guys like the Cooks, the Hughes, Redmond, Poston. It's just the same kind of...
Yeah, Matthew Fitzpatrick is just going to win and blow the whole thing out.
Yeah, or Sungjae goes two's first.
I hope so.
Runner up first.
I hope so. God, I love Sungjae so much. 22 to 1. What else? What's going on at the score? As we were talking, I was clicking through your articles. That's how I found the ratings thing. What else you got going on over there?
It's the NBA draft night. If you're into the NBA, we got a contest running.
That's tonight.
I think it's tonight. See, no one knows what's happening in the world of sports.
Did they do the lottery already?
I don't know the order. I don't know.
NBA draft.
I don't pay enough attention to the NBA. I know the Raptors aren't picking high.
November 18th. Get out of town.
I see LaMelo Balls all over my Twitter feed, so there's got to be a draft happening.
Well, speaking of that, as of 2 hours ago, Anthony Edwards now the betting favorite to be the -- pick in the NBA draft over LaMelo Ball.
You're a Sixers guy. Are they going to get Harden? No, he's going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's going to go to the Nets. But that would be kind of crazy. LaMelo Ball, I don't even know who Anthony Edwards is.
Because there's no college basketball season. It's like all these guys that usually would make noise. Unless you're a diehard college, you usually find them out in like March Madness, but we don't really know them anymore.
Is this the last Ball brother?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it has to be.
It has to be, right?
He might. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I'm a basketball scout, but I don't think who was the first one? Lonzo. I don't think he was ever in conversation for like first overall pick.
I always just remember there being like, oh, the youngest one's actually the best one. Like for
this is the youngest one. He was in like Australia playing and played pro in Australia. And now he's
Okay.
There's a few. I don't know.
Timberwolves #1 pick, Golden State Warriors 2, Hornets 3, Bulls 5, Bulls 4, Cavs 5. That's the order.
That
Sixers.
seems pretty standard. Other than Golden State, that's a usual collection of first top 5 pick selectors.
Sixers are number 21, but that's from Oklahoma City. Let's see. Toronto 29. We're going to be waiting a while for our guys.
I'd rather it that way. I know you got a nice little playoff run.
That's true. EPAT, much appreciated, dude. Thanks
Turned into a little basketball podcast
Thanks
at
for
the
letting
end.
me know when the NBA draft was. I had no idea that was going on tonight. Okay, I love it. Eric Patterson, who you can find at The Score and also on Twitter at EPATGolf. You can find me at RickRunGood. This has been 300 Yards to Unknown, and we'll catch you next time.